Hey guys, I'm over here to talk about something super important and something that I think would really benefit children and just anybody in general right now at this age group. So, today we're going to talk about a very, very serious and important topic. And if you haven't guessed it by the introduction, it's helmet safety. Okay, so a couple things for both the children and the parents watching this. I want to start off by saying that helmet safety is very necessary, especially right now when you have your kiddos learning how to ride a bike, getting out of the house, and just in general being more active and pretty much just getting a feel for the outside world and starting to play with other kids. There's so many reasons why helmet safety is extremely important to instill into your children's heads, and as well as for the children who are watching this to understand why you guys need to wear a helmet. So, of course, it's obvious that wearing a helmet is important because it protects your head. And if you don't protect your head, then you can get really hurt. And if you get really hurt, then you can have some serious injuries that could really affect your development, whether it be cognitive development, so basically your speech, talking, and just development that is really important for someone at that age level. You don't want anything to happen to your brain or have neurons misfiring or anything that could cause some type of damage. Besides the fact that you could have serious damage to your brain, you could have visible bleeding, you could get hurt somewhere else, and overall, it's just pretty serious. And there's actually research that proves that those who were injured or fell from a bike and weren't wearing a helmet were pretty seriously hurt and actually had some serious complications. And according to a lot of research that has been conducted over the years, bicycle injuries are the most common cause of serious head injuries in children. And I don't think that any of you guys, or for the parents watching, like I said before, would want your child to be at that risk. I think it's pretty serious, and for that reason, I think that definitely would want to get your children in education programs for helmet safety. It doesn't matter if it's for a bike or for a scooter or any type of activity that could involve you getting seriously hurt. I think even if you're not going to enroll your child in a program, then maybe do a sit-down lesson with your child. I know that sometimes as a 5-year-old it can be a little bit difficult to focus, but maybe some snacks would be enticing, and you could talk about the importance of safety associated with helmets and bikes, and turn it into a whole fun day. Maybe get a group of friends together, and that would be super duper fun. You could have like a social circle, maybe do like an after school program, and you really just want to make sure that you're understanding how seriously important it is, because just think about it this way. If you have your favorite phone or your favorite toy and you dropped it, but it didn't have a case on it or anything protecting it, then it would break. Same way that your skull could crack, or you could have a serious head injury. I know that a lot of kids, and maybe you guys, think that wearing helmets are a little bit silly and that it's not the best, and it could be a little bit uncomfortable, but it really is so safe and it's so important. For example, if you got a paper cut and you got a little boo-boo from maybe a splinter or just a paper cut, you'd put a Band-Aid on it, right? So you're protecting your skin, so you're protecting yourself from bleeding out, and you're protecting yourself from infection the same way a helmet would be protecting your head. So I definitely think there's just so many ways to become aware and just make sure that you're on the right track. And then when you're older, for the kids watching this, you guys can teach your siblings about it. You can tell your friends how awesome and how cool it is to wear a helmet, and pretty much go from there. And so now I'm just gonna fast forward you guys to some of our experts, and I'm gonna have her tell you a little bit about more about helmet safety, and I'm also gonna include some input from some other children who are a little bit older than 5 years old, but how they view helmet safety. And even though some of them might think that helmets are a little bit not as cool as, I don't know, the latest game out there, they do end up coming to a realization of the importance associated with helmet safety. All right, and now I'm gonna fast forward you guys all the way to our experts and have you talk a little bit with some kids that were interviewed through Johns Hopkins and talk about their opinions on helmet safety, and also take you to a little scenario involving helmet safety and what issues could happen if you neglect to wear a helmet. All right. Okay, and now I'm here with the experts at Johns Hopkins Medicine to give you a viewpoint on some reasons why children are a little bit hesitant to wear a helmet. And tell me what you think about it.
So why don't you wear a bike helmet?
Helmets are so ugly. Wearing a helmet is for babies. I just don't like to.
Wait, do you have a cell phone?
I love my phone. I can't go a day without my phone.
So how do you protect your phone?
I got a thick case because when it falls, it just...
I have a case on my phone so I don't break it or crack it.
Whoa, so you're telling me that these children have just told you that they have a case on their phone to protect their phone from breaking or cracking, but they're too cool to wear a helmet? Okay, think about this. Basically, kids or parents or anybody watching, think about it this way. If you wouldn't want your phone or your favorite toy or some type of technology to break, wouldn't you think that your head needs to be even more protected? So the same way that you would put on a case on a cell phone or have a special device for your iPad or whatever, you need a special case for your head because you don't want your skull to crack and you don't want an injury. And thank you to the kids from Johns Hopkins for giving their opinions, but just think about it that way.
All right, bike safety. There's a right way and there's a wrong way. Some people think that it's okay to just get on a bike and not wear a helmet. But the thing is, there's so many consequences associated with it. So right now, I'm just gonna go through a few scenarios. And it'll be up to you to realize which one is the right and which one is the wrong scenario. All right, so first, I've got my bike. Okay, so now I'm gonna start off with the first scenario. And you should be able to point out what's right about it and what's wrong just from looking at it. All right, so I'm on my bike and I'm riding it. All right, and now I'm gonna be riding my bike. So I'm just gonna be the child right now and I'm gonna let you know how it goes. All right. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Mommy, I don't wanna wear a helmet. It's dumb, it's ugly. All right, and I'm riding my bike and my mom tells me to put on my helmet, but I don't want to wear my helmet because I'm way too cool for school. So I'm riding my helmet and I look away and then all of a sudden, whoa! Ow, my head! After watching that scenario, you should be able to see that there were definitely some issues. If I would have worn my helmet, I wouldn't have gotten hurt. And I know you couldn't see from the video, but after that I had some bleeding on my head and I also had a pretty bad headache. And for the kids that don't know, since you guys are only 5 years old, that can result in a concussion, which, to simple it down into a little bit of better terms for you to understand, it's a pretty serious head injury and it's a lot more than a headache. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the next scenario. You're gonna tell me what's right about this scenario. All right, so I've got my bike and I'm riding my bike and my mom tells me to put on my helmet. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put on my helmet. Okay, and I'd clasp my helmet, I'd make sure it's my size, and I'd put it on because you know what? I care about bike safety. All right. I've got my helmet on and you know what? I'm so cool. Don't you want to be like all the other kids with their helmets? We could all ride together. We could have a helmet decorating party. That's awesome. So now I'm riding my helmet and I'm riding it, but sadly, and the truth is, even if you have a helmet on, you could still fall. But let me show you guys. I'm riding on the street and all of a sudden whoa, I hit a bump and I fell. All right, and I got up, and the thing is, even though I did fall and I hurt and I definitely got a little boo-boo on my knee, my head is intact. My head's not bleeding, I don't have a headache, and after a long night's sleep, I'll be perfectly fine. So now hopefully you understand the importance of wearing a helmet and why you should wear one and how cool it is to wear a helmet. So all I'm saying is make sure you learn about helmet safety and you stay wearing your helmets, because you know what? Helmets are awesome.